What's going on, YouTube? Now, welcome to members only. Now, if you're new, just know this is an open discussion channel. You can bust it up with me in the comments tonight, and you already know we're gonna have a good time every week. We drop some fire. So if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Shout out to all my newbies, and shout out to my day ones. I appreciate the people that was rocking with me from day one. Now, just like I said, don't be a stranger. Turn your notifications on, get the likes up from the door, because you already know, man, it's gonna be some fire content, just like all my other videos. Don't forget to hit the playlist, and let's get into it. Now tonight, we're gonna take it back to Compton, California, and we're talking about the 1990s. Now the 90s was probably just the most dangerous time of all time in Compton. Man, you had the Bloods, you had the Crips, you had all types of sets, man, banging it out. This was a time period where the streets had things on lock. Yes, the streets dictated how you walked, how you talked, where you was from, what set you was claiming. The streets dictated how you dressed, where you went, man, and everyone fell in line. Everyone, even the cops was in pocket, because they already knew the streets controlled everything. Now, wear the wrong color in the wrong neighborhood if you want to. Like, I couldn't even imagine having to worry about that. In the 1990s, Compton was a very dangerous place. So for you to be a bad man during that time, that says a lot about you. And Baby Lane was one of them guys. He was a big stepper. He was a young boy playing a grown man's game, and he played the game well. He played it better than some grown men. He had grown men scared of him. He didn't play no games, man. He didn't hesitate grabbing that ladder to run up somebody's chest. It is what it is, man. And I did drop a video like last year on Orlando Anderson, and it did well. But I'm dropping this video tonight because I'm not sure if people really understand how dangerous this dude was. He was a loose cannon that couldn't be controlled. But enemies couldn't control him. His own homies couldn't even control him. His big homies definitely couldn't control him, and that was the concern. That was the big concern, because they knew dude was willing to wild out at any moment. Like, they all knew they had to watch out for him. He always moved like he had something to prove, like he had to gain other people's respect. Now, he was just moving in the fast lane, like the life was just going too fast. Like 100 miles per hour, there you go. Like, everything was on sight with him. He had to handle things right there. He wasn't no dude that just fell back and just let something go. Like, he had a reputation, and he played it how it was. Now, we all know that he wasn't no stranger to putting in work. Like, all his paperwork and all FBI docs shows that he had a couple bodies, and a couple of his bodies were some Southside Crip members. That's something that a lot of people won't really talk about, but he was putting in work. Like, and a lot of guys feared him. Like, you had some Southside Crip members that stayed away from him because he was just a loose cannon. Now, Orlando Anderson's uncle, Keefe D, name held weight. Now, he had those bricks and he made a lot of people money due to his connections. So a lot of the big homies from the Southside Crips was getting money and getting paid. Like, he got a lot of people paid. With that being said, with Orlando being his nephew, Orlando got away with a lot of stuff. Like, when he was in the streets being reckless, he didn't receive the same punishments as the other guys. And a lot of guys looked at that as something crazy, so they stayed away from him. And, you know, when it come to Keefe D, you know, the big homies ain't gonna mess their bag up. This dude bringing in all the money. So, you know, they looked at that as, you know, his name hold weight, so we just gonna have to deal with it because the money was coming in. A lot of people was living good during the time, man. So a lot of people don't give Keefe D his credit, man. He was bringing in money. Now, there was a situation where the Southside Crips put in work, and Orlando was involved, and there was a couple of other members, and you had one member that couldn't even stand the heat. So he was so in fear being around Orlando, he ended up going to the police. Now, that individual, he wanted out the game bad. And his only way out was to go to the police. It's like he didn't know what he was getting into. Like, back then, we're talking about the 90s, where you really had to put in work. Like, the OGs will really come get you, scoop you from your crib, tell you to get dressed, and y'all will go put in work, and they will see how you operate. It wasn't nothing to play with. So to be a bad mother effer in the 90s, you just had to be something else to survive it. The drive-bys was at an all-time high. Broad daylight, mid-afternoon, early mornings, midnight, nighttime. It was crazy. They didn't care. Cookouts, birthday parties. Man, things was getting lit up, man. They was lighting the blocks up. It was a dark place during that time. And I'm not glorifying anything. I just want y'all to realize that this guy was getting told on by other steppers. Like, another stepper, other gangsters telling on this man. He was a problem. he was a problem. So when people watch these documentaries, when, you know, they see him getting jumped by Tupac, everyone laughing and all that, but they don't understand, like, Tupac didn't know who he was messing with. And that was the big problem. Like, Pac was used to going around fighting people and then nothing happening to him. Like, you can't just go around putting your hands on anyone. And he had to learn the hard way. And to be seen out in the club partying right after that, like, are you serious? They definitely played the sweep. Like you would think Suge and all them would know. Like, you would think they, I don't get it. Like, for these dudes to be as gangsters that claim they are, to be moving like that, like, as soon as you jump someone from a different set, you should be prepared for the get back. You should be laying low. You should be chilling like, oh, we gotta fall back after that incident, man. It's hot out here. You got the law out here, and then you got those other dudes from the other sets, man, prepared for retaliation. That's the type of mindset you should have if you out there set tripping. Now, what was it, the MGM Grand where they jumped him at? Well, you know, before they jumped him, you know, they had Orlando Anderson just standing there by himself. Like, he looked very out of place. Like, what are you doing? It's like he was just sitting there waiting for something to happen. And I found that very rare for him to be by himself. I don't know if he was waiting for anyone, but I'm asking myself, like, where is the other Southside Crip members? Well, unlike Pac and them, the Southside Crips knew there would be some retaliation after the Tupac hit. So when everyone's back home, you know, a lot of people were saying that the Southside Crips, like, their territory, like, everyone fell back, like, it was, like, empty. They said the streets was empty, everyone was falling back, they was out the way. They was preparing, it's like they hit the mattress when it came to war. Now, that's how you really supposed to move when it comes to that gangster life. Besides the Tupac incident, they already had beef cooking up in the streets. Baby Lane and the Southside Crips, they went back and copped a lot of firepower, so they was ready. Like, it wasn't gonna be no walk in the park if the mob pulled up on them. Now, some people might say Orlando Anderson, aka Baby Lane, was the one that got rid of Pac, and some others might say he didn't. So when he got back home to Compton, he walked around and bragged about it, like he done it. So he went around claiming the wreck. Whether it was true or not, it really didn't matter because people already thought he was capable of doing it due to his reputation. So with him walking around claiming a wreck, it got the results that he really wanted. One, he built the confidence of the little homies around him to make them feel like they had the right place, they claiming the right set at the time. Two, he made the mob pyro member feel like they was losing a war at the time. Three, he made different sets that was kind of playing both sides or try to stay out of it feel comfortable enough with aligning themselves with the Southside Crips. Four, he became an overnight celebrity due to taking out one of the biggest hip-hop stars at the moment. It also made the Southside Crips look very powerful for them to have access to a hit on one of the biggest superstars. And another thing, the Southside Crips became more feared for them willing to go as far as hitting a celebrity in Las Vegas. So if he wasn't so tied up into the streets, if he would have been focusing on his record label, he would have built a lot of publicity around that and it would have worked out in his favor. But you already know, man, he still was on some street business and then his demise came. And I feel as though he was moving too fast and that was the main reason why he got hit up. Now, I think if he would have just slowed down and thought about his next move, you know, things would have went in his favor. But, you know, anything could happen, man. Anything could happen. I told you, he was moving at 100 miles per hour. You know, everything was just on sight with him. So that's just what comes with the life. But, you know, that's all we got, man. Hit the comments, hit the like button. You already know, man. If you're new, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm out.